and most of them are still watching ads. So we're going to give them a second to get through that.
Salute.
Okay, there's a little bit of a lag. We're on 15 seconds. That's just technology for you. So, all right, 10, 9, 8. Here we go. We're going to do it all over again.
That's all good.
That works.
All right, and here we are. So, how is everybody doing tonight in the chat? Hello, hello. A little bit of a lag. There we go. Just catching up. Awesome. Hello, guys. Hello, hello. Ida's here. Sunflower's here. Get Spooky is here. Neva's here. Rooted's here. Oh, goodness. Awesome. Hello, hello, everybody. Yes, just waiting for a few more to come in, and we will get started on this awesome live stream that we have planned for you, and it's going to be a good one for more reasons than one. I'm wicked excited. While we're waiting for everybody to file in, I want to introduce you to some new friends of mine. We met through a mutual subscriber, Neva, and she is just awesome. And she's been hounding me for weeks to get in contact with you, and I'm so glad I did. First video, I was hooked. It's hard to... Well, it's not hard, but it's always exciting when you view somebody else's content and little mini movies that fall in line sort of with your own, sort of like a tribe and a feel and a vibe going on there. And I knew immediately just the way that you talk to the spirits and each other and the places you go. And it's not just about in your face. I mean, you do the nature, you do the beauty. It's just awesome. So everybody here, I want to introduce you to Tippa TV. Take a second if you want to introduce yourselves and lead into maybe how long you've been doing this and so forth.
All right. Well, I'll start because Josh doesn't want to go first. So anyway, I'm Josh. That's Marianne. In case anybody was confused, no, we've probably only been running our channel since December 20th.
Yeah, that was our first video.
We've been doing video production and stuff for the past 4 or 5 years. So we've been making ads for small businesses, for other YouTubers. We've been doing a lot of editing for them.
Okay.
With weddings.
All sorts of stuff.
Training videos. Yeah, just all kinds of things. We
films.
Worked on a couple indie films. And we've been working on doing editing for a couple YouTubers. And a couple of our friends came over one time and was like, why don't you guys do a channel? You guys are hilarious. And we're like, well, nobody would care to see what we do because we're just us, you know? Because to us, what we are doing is normal. Apparently over in this column over here, though, they don't think we're that normal. But no, we were watching a video one time on YouTube, and a lot of our subs know this story, but we're watching an episode, and it was a Randonautica episode. We got halfway through it and said, I want to go try that. So we paused the video, downloaded the app, hopped in the car, and off we went,
That's it.
That's all it took.
That's it.
We kind of filmed that one, but we were just screwing around more than anything, so we didn't really make an episode out of it.
Right.
But we did have a couple weird experiences, and one, she swears it was a black cow that was running out of the field, and it sounded like it was charging me.
It looked like it was charging him.
I said that it was too fast to be a cow going uphill because I've seen cows and they're not that fast.
Right.
So we had our own little conversation about that. And then another experience, we pulled up next to this house and they have this enormous front yard. All the lights were off. And when we parked there and we was looking at the little pinpoint, we noticed that there's 3 figures standing out in the middle of the yard in the total darkness.
Oh, that's not creepy at all.
And
Yeah, right?
we kind of sat there and just stared at them. They were staring at us, trying to figure out who we were and what we were doing. And then all of a sudden, one of them started up a motorcycle and started going around in circles, dragging another guy, like on a skis or something.
Oh yeah, or sled or something.
And so they were just out there having fun in the dark, but we were just like, "What the hell?"
I was panicked for a minute once I saw them. I thought, what is this? What's going on? Are the stories true?
Right. Yeah, no, absolutely. What was your intent for that one? Do you remember?
Honestly, I don't. I think at first we were just constantly going for spooky and scary, and,
Right.
Yeah.
Naturally.
Just trying to fill it out.
And we weren't really taking it super serious at first. I kept thinking it was like an adult version of Pokemon Go.
That's exactly what it is.
Right.
Mhm.
And so I didn't really hold a lot of thought into it, I guess you could say.
Mm-hmm.
But after that first night, we're like, oh, hell yeah, we got to go do this again. So the next night, we actually loaded the kids up in the car.
Nice.
Big mistake. We learned.
Yeah.
We know better. We have that episode. We didn't want to air it, but you guys asked us to air it, so it's out there.
Yeah.
But there was a pretty scary moment that happened with her, and it traumatized her a little bit.
Yeah, I guess you could say. Backstory though. Okay, so we're in Utah, land of the worst drivers that there is.
You haven't been to Florida, but
Oh, I lived in Florida.
Did you really?
I did.
Where?
Altamont Springs.
Oh,
I was in
that.
Kissimmee, St. Cloud for a couple of months, but Altamont Springs is where.
I was in Georgia for about a year and a half.
Well, if you've lived here and Utah's got the worst, then I will gladly give that to you.
When the snow falls, especially like when there's weather, people lose their minds. They're just, that's mostly where it comes from. But
right.
Anyway, sitting in a parked car, got hit twice within 30 seconds, gives you kind of some trauma.
Oh,
so
yeah. That'll do it. Yes.
Yeah. So this particular night that he's referring to, they're walking down this little tunnel with the kids, and I'm staying back with the youngest who's fallen asleep. And this little teeny tiny one-way road, we're scooted off to the side as much as possible, and I see this car coming towards me, and I'm freaking out because it's headed right towards me.
Right.
I think it got within like a foot, 2 feet maybe from the car.
I was down the tunnel.
And
it looks different on the dash cam.
It does look different on the dash cam. It looks like you have all this room, but you really don't.
Right.
But yeah, I had a freak out on camera. I was screaming, ah!
we had our 4-year-old asleep in his car seat. Didn't wake up to it. But the funny part was in the video, you see that me and the 2 older kids come back and walk up to the car.
Oh, yeah.
And she went from this panic state to rolling. So how did it go? Yeah, but then you could just see the energy from her.
Oh, I was done. I was done. I was trying to keep it away from the kids because I didn't, but I was like,
right.
Game over.
The funny thing about that tunnel too is like I said, we started our channel and we were just kind of having fun with it at first, but that tunnel that it led us to had a bunch of graffiti inside of it. And we never knew it even existed. The one that goes underneath the freeway.
Mm-hmm.
And that's actually where we saw this heart spray painted inside of the tunnel. And it said, "Love the journey." And so we made sure we got a good shot of it so we could take that, clean up a lot of the naughties that were on it.
I was going to say, there's probably some phallic symbols you had to.
We
I don't know
cleaned
what
it up.
I don't know what it is about spray paint and boy parts, but
Right.
Yeah, but we cleaned it up, and all of a sudden we were like, "That's it. Love the journey."
Yeah.
So that's the actual picture.
That's it.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
I love that.
So
That
we
is
took
so cool.
we took the image off and cleaned it up a little bit, and that became our new motto: was "Love the journey." And
I love that. That is beautiful. Now, do you have a Teespring or some sort of merch?
Yeah, there is. We did a design contest after this too, and one of our subscribers won this contest. We did a lot of her designs too, but it's all this and Tippa TV
Yeah.
designs.
So yeah, it's under just Tippa TV
Hmm.
On Teespring, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay.
So
That's awesome. We'll see. I'll see if I can get the link in here because I love that. I'm a big fan. Well, I'm not a big fan of graffiti. First of all, let's.
Right.
well,
lay
if it's good art, if it's really beautiful artwork, I have no problem with it. But like you said, when it's just boy and girl
Yeah.
parts all over the place, and
choice words and all sorts
Right.
of things.
right.
You know, I'm not for the live stream. I'm not a fan of destruction of other people's property.
Right.
But if I had to choose, I would prefer it to be on something as of what you found versus people that go to, you know, national treasures of nature and spray paint stuff on the rocks and the waterfalls and all
Yeah.
that. I just,
Yeah.
oh, it makes me so mad. Pet
Right.
peeve of mine.
Right.
Anyway, so do you remember? So all of that first, especially the T-shirt design, which I love.
Mhm.
Do you remember your intent for that by chance?
Again, I mean that was night 2, so it was in the video. I think I said spooky.
Okay.
Probably.
I think I was spooky on that one.
And I don't even remember what I would have been.
It's in the video.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm
we've
trying to
done so
remember.
many since then. It's
I've watched, especially these past couple days, trying to, you know, seem intelligent about the channel, which I am a subscriber of your channel and I do love. But to say I've watched everything would be a lie. So I don't think I've seen that one.
Yeah.
I have seen a few, and we'll get to those in a second.
Mhm.
But it really would have been well, spooky's interesting because the tunnels are very spooky. They can be. But if it was something along the lines of, you know, getting that actual design, I mean, that's
yeah,
really cool.
that was just like I said. I mean, she saw it first with our daughter, and I was like, "Oh, did you get a shot of it?" And we actually went back and filmed a second
Yeah,
night
we did.
there with just me and her without the kids, and we went back and got
When we
another shot.
learned.
Right.
But yeah,
Right.
the whole love the journey, it really stuck. I mean,
It did.
our earlier videos, we realized that that's what it was all about, and we knew what we were doing, we knew how we were doing it, but we just didn't know the words to put to it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then once we saw this, she put the whole thing together, and it's like, yeah,
Yep.
that's exactly it, you know.
It just
Yeah.
fit. It just made such perfect sense.
It
you know,
really does.
life
And
is a journey, and
It is.
it's not all roses. Sometimes
No.
it's really hard, and sometimes
is.
it's, you know, it sucks, and you know, but you get down through the other side, you know, these hard things, and you're like, you know, hey, I did it, and I'm proud of myself. So, and sometimes it's just taking a shower. Sometimes it's just getting up in the
Yes.
morning. You know, sometimes that's something to celebrate. It
Yes.
really, you know, for a lot of people, that can be an
It is.
accomplishment, and
It is.
so this really meant a lot more about than just, you know, journey Randonautica and stuff like that. And we've had our interesting encounters and stuff where we're like, oh, I'm so glad we made it out the other side of this one. But
yeah, we scared a lot of our fam, because the last video we did a live stream, and we were out on location. We did a live stream, and we were spooked the hell out. Okay, we were out in the middle of the desert at night, hearing stuff all around us, doing some stuff that probably shouldn't have been doing. And so we did this live stream, and we had to cut it short because we had to get out of there. And then apparently our fam got really worried about us. In fact, a couple of them was like, you know, I had nightmares for 2 hours after that stream. They were blowing up our Discord saying, "Were you guys okay?"
Yeah, I heard about that on the tail end, and actually never. And I know what you were doing, what you shouldn't have been doing, and it all leads in together. And I think that, well, I'll tell you what I told her, Marianne. I think that you are sensitive. I think you have gifts, and Josh, man, I think you just have such a strong energy of strength and comfort and protection that the living and the dead don't want to mess with anything that you're connected to. So to, you know, and she's like, you know, what do we, you know, I can't remember exactly what she said, bless her heart, but I'm like, look, I'm sure they're fine. You know, and I said exactly what I just said. And she's like, yeah, you know what? You're right. And then she's like, oh, I just heard from him. They're fine. Thank goodness. And I'm like, I knew it.
Yeah.
But it's going back to what you just said, Marianne, about the journey and sometimes just showering and getting out of bed is a celebration. I'm really glad that you said that. I know, especially at any time, mental health is a big deal. But things that are going on recently, you know, has really tested a lot of people that may have not been tested that way before. So if anybody is feeling some sort of way that they never felt before, or they feel like they need to reach out and talk to somebody, there are hotlines and websites that you can go to. Shame on me for not having them ready, but I encourage you guys, please, to use that. I'm just an email away as well, abandonedreclamation@gmail.com. I'm not a professional and very busy lately. However, you know, there's always somebody, and I encourage you to find that somebody, even if it's a stranger that you strike up a conversation with. You know, anything that reminds you that you yourself are a celebration. So I really appreciate you saying that, because that's a beautiful thing. So thank you for doing that. And wow, that got deep. Okay, moving on. Did not expect to. I love that though. Okay, so let me just. I've seen some questions pop through. Let me just scan through the comments real quick.
I do know that Selena was asking if she could share the link to our Teespring.
Oh my gosh, yes, absolutely. This is not a you can't share things channel. So if anybody wants to share their YouTube channel, their Teespring, PayPal, whatever you want, I do ask that you keep it obviously PG. Don't share, please don't share anything you're not supposed to.
Right.
But if you've got their links that you want to drop, please go ahead and do that. Absolutely. Get them up there. I don't have moderators yet. It's something that's been on my list. I know it's something the professionals have, but I just haven't gotten around to it. So again,
I tell you, yeah, we didn't even know what mods were until about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And now we have like 4 of them.
Yeah.
And they're phenomenal.
I
A couple of
know.
them are in the chat right now. That's
I'm
why
sure
they're
they
like, "Can I
are."
share it?
Yes. Anybody that's in the chat, mod or not, you want to drop something, go ahead. Just again, keep it PG, no bad language or anything else. But anything of theirs that you want to promote, go ahead and do that. Absolutely. That's what this is about. Sunflower's here. Eric's here. Let me just go through and say hi to all the peeps. They love that. Rooted, thank you so much. I see you in here promoting and being a gentleman. I appreciate that. Sandra Pink is here. Hello, Sandra. I don't know if Sandra follows you, but she's amazing. She never misses a video and she never misses a comment, and she's just fantastic.
Awesome.
Love her like
Cool.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, she's awesome. And she's a creator herself. I don't know where she finds the time. You know, we asked her the other day in a live stream how she does it all. And she literally said and showed us she's got like 6 or 8 monitors. So she's like in this, like, I don't want to call it a panic room, but and I can just see her with her headphones and she's just like, you know, doing all this. She's phenomenal. So thank you, Sandra, for being here.
Yeah, we operate off 4 monitors, and that's enough for us.
Ann Hughes is here. Hello, Ann. Connie is here. Hello, Connie. Let me just go through and catch up real quick, if you don't mind. Lots of chatting going on. I love it. Donna's here. Hello, Donna. Okay, Sundancer is here. Hello, how are you? Paul is here.
Paul Knoll, yeah, he was worried about us too.
I was gonna say Paul is a newbie to me, so I appreciate him being here, and he's a good guy. I can see how you'd be worried. Absolutely. Let me just catch up real quick. Sunflower says they need to make Nicktoons app with all the old shows. Yes, Sunflower, you are absolutely correct. 100%.
Do what?
Yeah, Nicktoons app with all the old Nickelodeon shows from back in the 90s.
Oh, yeah.
Those were the good ones. They don't make them like that anymore.
No.
Let's see. There you are. Okay, Connie. Just looking for questions real quick. I know I saw a few. Let me just go through. Now, of course, the thing jumped, and now I can't see. Selena's here. Hello, Selena. Mark. Hello, Mark. How are you? Selena says we should always be here for everyone we know. Yes, absolutely. That's beautiful. Thank you. Patty. Patty's here. Hello, Patty. And I can't find any questions. So, guys, I know they were in there, and my thing keeps jumping. I'm missing them. If you have any questions, please put them in all caps so that I can see them. And we are going to get back to talking about Randonautica. But yes, put your questions in all caps, and I will catch them. Do better at that. It's hard.
It is.
It's just hard.
definitely-
That's it. It's
yeah.
hard.
Mhm.
Oh, Rooted. Rooted does have a question. So while doing Randonautica, how many duds did you all run into? So how many dead ends have you guys found?
More than we can count. We've been out. We'd film 2 or 3 days straight, using up all the coins, and end up having points in people's houses and their driveways and their backyard.
Yeah.
Private properties. What we started doing is we started driving out of the town or the city area and
Yep.
trying to go out more where there's a lot less buildings and a lot less people, and then pulling it up out there. That's where we started finding more of the hits, is because they were areas we could actually get to.
Mm-hmm.
And it made a big difference. And there were times where, I mean, it goes back to love the journey. There were times where it would pull up a destination, and we'd run into something along the trip that met our intents. So sometimes we didn't even have to go all the way. We came across it on the way there. So,
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's
Like if I had to put a number on it, I'd say, because see, we're still kind of new within the last 3 months or so. I'd probably put it at like 30-40% duds, but again, it's a lot of that was before we realized we needed to get further away, and we were doing 6-mile radiuses instead of walking distance. We might have, I don't know, we've never done the walking distance really.
We tried to pull it up on Stalking the Stalker, and
of course that had,
I mean, we had other issues with
That was weird.
Randonautica. I
That
don't
was a
know if
weird
you
one.
ever seen the episode of Stalking the Stalker, but we went to a location and we decided to open the app and then trigger a search to see if somebody would show up on us. And when we did, it showed our coordinates. How far away would you say? About 30, 40 miles away?
Maybe not quite that far. Probably 20.
Yeah, I guess. So it was pinning us being located 20 miles at another point.
Mm-hmm.
I shut off the phone, I restarted it, I did everything, and it still showed us way over somewhere else where we weren't at. There were other times where the coins wouldn't reload for 2 or 3 days solid. So, I mean, we've had some of our own little weird glitches within the app.
Okay.
But
I
the
have
duds
too.
itself, but the duds itself, like she said, it was mostly before we realized to get out of town, get out of the city boundaries and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But we still hit them.
Yeah, I think that actually Zach, the Rooted Expeditions, the gentleman that posted that question, and a lot of people that see your videos or hear your stories want to know how you did it. And it's hard to tell them an answer that is comprehensible because, especially duds wise, before the coins were even a thing, Sunshine, my partner, and I would go out, and sometimes we would go weeks doing it every day. Now, not all day. We still have full-time jobs, but we do a little bit after work or before work whenever we could, and on the weekends. And there would be weeks where it would just be nothing and nothing and nothing. And the magic of that is that the whole app was created to love the journey. So
Ironic, right?
yes. So what turned out to be duds, if you look back on it in retrospect, got you to maybe places you've never seen before in your own town.
Yeah.
Even if you, especially during COVID, the very first lockdown, I believe Randonautica came out in February of 2020. So it really became popular during COVID because people were in lockdown, but they could still take walks at that time. So you would, dial it up and you could go for a walk. And if you were tuned in to the magic of what you're searching for, it was blowing people's minds. Now, this concept is not new to me, as I'm sure it's not to you. Universe and or God, however you want to look at it. There are tiny little miracles all over the place, and people get so darn busy that you just stop seeing the magic and the beauty. Yeah. And from what I understand from the creator, I have actually had a conversation with him when it first came out, and it was created for exactly that. All of the creepy and the dead body and the knives and the weapons and the money and the stalkers, all of this came afterwards. And, it's interesting to see exactly which journey that particular creator or storyteller is taking. And you can take it anywhere. I mean, I've done plenty of videos where you find happy things. You're looking for something purple and you find a purple flower or a discarded teddy bear or, whatever. And the unfortunate part of that is the beauty and the magic is not what people want to see. Yeah. So right then and there, you're running into the problem of, well, we do have dead ends, but we find cool stuff along the way. And we do find beautiful things, but nobody's watching it. So when I do a video about finding, me in particular, we found some throwing knives one time. We found a little bag of money. I found that was the big one for me. We'll get back to that cremation tag. That is what people are eating up. That's what people are seeing. And I know I can see it in your videos themselves, the analytics, how people are watching, how, where the organic traffic's coming from and all this. And when you have Randonautica, which is a very hot topic, and you mix it with something as volatile as death or stalkers or whatever, I mean, it's just a recipe for success on YouTube, numbers, traffic-wise, all that. So just like anything else, people abuse it. And we're not naming any names, and I don't have anything against anybody who does that. That is absolutely fine. It's their channel. It's their journey. They can do whatever they want. But it's funny. You can almost categorize the number of views they're getting organically via traffic and what they're showing. So if you put out a video and it's got something death or whatever, and then you look at the traffic, it's always going to be up. And if you do Randonautica, we found Cinderella's lost shoe, it's a feel good story and people love to see that, but it's going to be almost nothing. Right. So in terms of that, are you guys seeing sort of the same thing as far as your numbers and viewers and subscribers gained and all of that?
Yeah, I mean, part of it too is I saw a commenter up a little bit ways. I'm not sure where he went, but they asked if Randonautica was the only thing we do on our channel. And the answer is no. I mean, Randonautica is what brought awareness of us to a lot of people out there.
Me too.
But there's also other content that we're doing that we're very experienced in. And so when people, I mean, Randonautica led us to a cemetery, which now has been tagged Pinwheel Cemetery. The first time we were doing the Randonautica app and it took us to the cemetery, we never knew it existed. But
it's so tucked in there.
But we decided we wanted to go back and bring the paranormal aspect in. And the reason why is because TIPA, originally the name TIPA was formed from a paranormal team that we ran for over 10 years.
Okay.
So TIPA originally stood for Technical Investigations of Paranormal Activity.
Oh God, I love that. Okay,
That's what it was. Is we were the tech team,
I love
and
that.
so we did investigations for well over 10 years. We are no strangers to the paranormal field. We know how to show respect. We know how to leave things better than how we found it if we can. We know how to interact with different types of entities. So it's not new to us. She's almost been taken over before. We caught that on
Yeah.
camera.
Mhm.
And so when we came across the cemetery, we wanted to go back because the pinwheel, when we were asking it questions, the pinwheel would start to spin answering our questions.
Right.
And then the second time back, we asked it to spin, and it did. Then we asked it to spin the opposite direction, and it did.
Okay.
It
And
wasn't
so
wind.
Yeah. Well,
and
yeah, that's really hard too. Maybe in Florida with our hurricanes, but
Yeah. Right.
but yeah,
that's possible.
we do add other elements of videos. But you're right, Randonautica
Mm-hmm.
is one of the top things that drive new people to us.
Mhm.
The one video that probably opened up a lot of people's eyes more than anything about our channel was our Stalking the Stalker episode,
Yep.
which is hilarious because when we did that, we came home and we were doing the edit. We were telling each other, nobody is going to want to watch this.
We're just sitting in the car staring at other cars,
Nobody's going to want to see this video.
Yep.
Turn that down a little bit. And we put it together. We put part one together and posted it, and it exploded.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And we were just like, holy crap, this
Yeah.
is crazy.
Yep.
And half the people wanted to see the other half of the footage.
Yep.
We weren't going to upload it, but they
Yeah.
wanted to see the other half of the footage. So we shared that. That one exploded. And then people wanted to see the location during the daytime. So we went back during the day and, we showed them this is what it looks like in the daytime. And we thought that video nobody would want to see, but it's one that drew in a lot of traffic.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And in fact, the one that I started YouTube last year in February. Posting I started filming with a gentleman named Jody Dean from Hunting the Dead. We met just by chance, and I had been watching him for a while, and I loved his stuff. I knew he was local because I myself was doing the same things. I just wasn't filming it. And so when I met him, we hit it off. He's got a different style than I do, and I love that guy. I respect him 110%. He's a very hard worker. That being said, COVID came, and so we all had to lock down. I was actually on COVID lockdown 2 times. Came back negative, but during that time, the second time I was actually in lockdown was July, and it was July 4th. And Sunshine, we carpool, so she was at work, and I had to stay home. So I'm like, well, heck, what am I going to do? There's nothing really around here within foot distance that I can film. And I had been sort of playing with Randonautica. I'm not a fan of, enticing the spirits to communicate by derogatory means or yelling or screaming or anything like that. And I'm not really a fan of dark webby stuff. So like you said, it's sort of like Pokemon Go for adults. Had a baby with a dark web, but also had a sprinkle of like magic on it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know what? And this was before, the death video had come out, which was really what spiked the interest in, the body in the suitcase. Everybody knows that story. So that's what really spiked the interest and sort of made it go baby viral before the second wave came. So Sunshine says, I don't want you messing with this. I said, okay. So she went to work and I turned it on, and I'm like, well,
Yeah.
Exactly. And, as well, being a creator of tiny movies and having a beautiful audience that never demands, but when you're looking at those analytics and you got to do something, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, I'm going to just see what I can find. So to make a very long story short, I asked for death, thinking Now, I didn't ask for human death or bodies or suitcases or blood or murder scenes, none of that. I just wanted to find death. Now, in my mind, I'm a naturalist. I really enjoy and love being in the outdoors. I'm outside all the time, camping, fishing, whatever, it doesn't matter. So I'm thinking, some animal bones or, whatever. So I start to go, I'm filming. And when I get to the location where it says I'm supposed to go on foot by myself, I immediately start noticing some trees that have been struck by lightning that were deceased. There was a stinging nettle, which anybody that's lived in Florida knows when you touch those, it feels like death. There was like a wasp nest, and there were some other things that really would suffice for asking to find death. And then I happened to notice there was some plywood, looked like a wall had fallen down, not very big at all, maybe a tiny shed. And I noticed under that shed, there was a Lipton tea bottle with a metal top that had rusted open. So the rim was still there, but the middle was open. And inside there was some sand and some debris. And I'm like, oh, what's this? Picked it up on camera, dumped it out in my hand. And there was actually a crematory, like a brass tag that you get, from what I understand. And when I called the crematory, confirmed that you get it back with your loved one's ashes.
Wow.
So that immediately, that was my moment. That just totally, I realized how powerful, not only, I mean, yes, is it just an app? Of course it is. But when you apply that with intent, that's what happens. Long story short, the stuff that was inside felt like Florida sugar sand. It didn't feel like ashes, but I put everything back and I said a little prayer and I apologized and I held on to that video for a little while because I didn't want to glorify that at all. And I talked to some people and they said, well, you really should. You didn't do anything wrong. Just hide whatever name is on there and just put it out as a don't play with this the wrong way sort of a thing. And I'm like, well, yeah, okay, whatever. And just like you, I put it out thinking, I don't even think I told Sunshine. She was not upset that I went randonauticing by myself, which you should never do, by the way, just for safety's sake. But I woke up the next day and my videos, which had normally at that time were getting 50 to 60 views, which is nothing to shake a stick at. All of a sudden I had 8,000 when I woke up. So this is what people are wanting to see.
Yeah.
And now you, as I'm sure you guys have, entered the struggle of, well, do I put out what people want to see or do I stick to what I know? And it's a very hard, you can go searching for it all day long, but as I know you are, you're very truthful. You guys don't, it's not for entertainment. Everything that happens is real and organic, but that first little blow up that you get is very, it's gratifying, especially when you've been grinding so long and so hard. And I haven't even touched on the stalker aspect, but I know that is a very real thing. And there are questions about how people know. And I don't know how they know that. I have my own theories, but it's, obviously when you're utilizing an application that taps into your maps, other people can see that. You know what? No, let's touch on that. You guys, especially Stalking the Stalker. I've seen that video. If you guys haven't seen it, everybody in the chat, go ahead and check that video out.
After the stream.
Yeah, after
the stream.
If somebody wants to drop a link to that, please go ahead. So obviously technology, duh. Do you guys believe that people are actually viewing? You know what? No, I'm going to ask this question as a person that might viewing this would. Do you think that Randonautica has like full-time employees that are always on the clock waiting for somebody close to them to drop a point so they can go and stalk them?
I don't.
No. I think that's too far-fetched because Randonautica is not making enough money to even consider doing that.
And like, let's be real. How many job postings have you seen that says, hey, Randonautica stalker, please, apply here? Like,
right.
know.
Yeah. Send in your resume.
Yeah, right?
How good are you at stalking? Well, I can tell you, whoever was following us wasn't very good. So,
Right.
Right.
But are there some really weird stuff that happens? Absolutely. Like,
Oh my God, 110%.
you know,
Yeah.
there's stuff that we can't explain. There's stuff that's happened even during the day when we're not playing that it's like, what the F is that?
Yes.
You
Yes.
know?
The weird thing
Yes.
though, I do have to say though, is we really didn't start noticing vehicles following us until we started using the app.
Right.
Now, I'm not saying why, but I mean, there would be cars that would park up front of our house. There's a lot of stuff that never made it on camera.
Ditto. Yes.
Yeah.
She had gone out shopping through the day, and the same white truck would be following her everywhere she went.
Everywhere.
There were nights when we were driving around, and it's almost like vehicles were switching off with each other. You know, one would pull off, and the next one would pull up, follow us. We'd do like 2 laps around the same block just to see if they're still following us, and they would follow us around the block twice. You know, just stuff that you can't. You know, you got to justify it in your own mind before you say, "Oh, somebody's following me." And yeah, there was times where it was just like, "What the hell's going on?" You know, why?
Yeah.
And that was the whole reason why we did the Stalk the Stalker episode, is because we wanted to go to a place where we knew nobody was at a time when we knew nobody would be there, and open up the app just to see what happens.
Right.
Right.
And it happened.
Yeah.
That freaked me out.
They got
honestly.
really friggin'
That,
weird.
because I know that area enough to know that nobody goes in there at night. I mean, especially when it's iced over. Like, you know, you have fishermen, you have people that go there.
Ice fishing.
Yeah. But to see that many in that area, I have in my life, I have never ever seen. You don't even see that during the day back there. You just don't. So that shock was total real, because I'm like, what am I watching right now? What exactly is going on I couldn't wrap my brain around what I was seeing and experiencing, and what were they there for.
And it's hard to explain that to the viewers too, because I mean, we were just showing them what we were experiencing, and some of the viewers were saying that we were just sitting there judging people that we shouldn't be judging, and some people were saying, well, maybe they were doing a group of cars that travel
The car
around.
show or whatever, car meetup.
It's possible, but
it
no.
is. But with the girl who was dancing in front of the headlights, she had parked at 2 or 3 different spots before she parked within eye shot of us, just to dance.
You didn't get video of me doing that, did you?
Of you? Yeah. Oh yeah, you're all over it. So, sorry, I had to blur out some of it though. So.
That's all right. That's all right. I apologize.
But no, we did that because we were curious more for ourselves than anything else, you know. And if nothing would have happened, there would not have been a video.
Yeah,
it's just that simple. We actually did go out and try it a second time. We picked a different location, completely out middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
And we sat there for like 3 or 4 hours, and nobody came.
Nothing.
Nobody showed up. Nothing happened.
Okay.
So we went back to that same location. We tried it again on another night. More weird stuff started happening. So it's just
not
weird.
quite to that scale, but yeah, it still just.
Because we went there like 2 nights prior, if I remember right, without the cameras and without all that. We didn't open up the app. When we went, we just sat in that parking lot. We just sat there.
Kind of our control group, you know, like to kind of baseline it.
And watched, and nobody. I mean, I think 2 cars the entire night had pulled in there.
Okay. And for the sake of argument, was it like a Tuesday night versus like a Saturday night?
No, I think they were both done on Wednesday.
Midweek. Yeah,
they were both done. They were all done on Wednesday.
Both done on Wednesday. Okay. And is it like what exactly is around the spot that you picked? Is it
farmland?
Farmland. Yeah. Okay.
Farmland.
Orchards.
There's it's just a little off the side lake, but it's on the back side to where really nobody goes. I mean, most of the fishing spots and most of the travel spots are on the city side. Right. This is several miles out around the back side where there's just open fields,
Mhm.
Nothingness.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's why we picked that area, is because it was away from everything.
And you have
And
a pretty good view. I mean, you have a couple of little trees, but I mean, it's winter, so you can see through them.
And it wasn't a holiday or anything the next
No,
time.
nope.
Some
Nope.
weird National Margarita Day. Or,
Right.
Nope.
No.
But
Utah's boring.
like I said, we went back a day or two later during the day, and you could see all the people out ice fishing and walking on the ice and everything. But it was more the behavior of the cars that made everything weird.
Was it a full
That's-
moon?
I do not know.
I don't know either. I don't think so though, because it was pretty well. It was really dark though. I don't know.
I feel like
I
you
don't
would
know.
I'll
know.
have to look.
I feel like you would know if it was, because obviously it would be big and bright and all that.
Right.
And that just stems from the service industry and you know, first responders and all that. You know, it's going to be a busy night if it's a full
Yeah.
moon.
True.
I'm just trying to throw everything at you I can, because
Sure.
I know where you're coming from and I
Yeah.
understand it, but people that don't. So it's just adds credibility to,
Mhm.
you know, whatever.
And we're not saying that every single vehicle out there was a randonaut spy or whatever. Like,
Oh, sure. No, of
I'm
course
sure
not.
there were people there were doing other things that they probably shouldn't be doing anyway. But
Yeah.
the traffic that we saw and the behavior of the vehicles, I think, is what got us the most. Is just there was no purpose. It was so, that gut feeling that you're like something's not right,
Mhm.
and you can't totally put your finger on why. That's where we stood for like 3 hours straight, going, "This isn't right," but we can't tell you why.
Yeah.
Because it's a public area.
I did get in
But-
trouble for getting out of the car.
Yeah.
I can see that
Mostly
happening.
by our viewers.
I wanted to check behind our vehicle to make sure nobody came up from behind and was.
Well,
picking
yeah,
up
of
on it.
course.
Mhm.
But apparently, some people didn't think that was such a bright idea.
Well, there are things that situations that in your own circus that you can handle, and that appear. I get it all the time as well, as a female, and Sunshine does go with me, but she's not always with me. If I waited for every time that she was available to go with me, she's such a trooper. But I would never get anything filmed. So I do venture to places that I probably shouldn't. And viewers have a very strong opinion on that, which I love them for.
Mhm.
But there's also a higher vibration of the situation and what's going on. And another reason why I haven't seen you guys quite yet, put yourself in a situation where you could be, now of course there are times you can't help it, spiritual wise, attacked spiritually and things like that, almost taken over. I heard you guys talk about, it absolutely can happen without warning,
Right.
anytime, anywhere, if you're vulnerable. I'm not saying that it can't happen, but you generally get in I don't even know what the right word for it is,
A zone.
the zone. Yes.
Yeah.
So, you need to get out and check the rear of your vehicle. That's what you do. So,
Mhm.
and it makes for better viewing, which I believe adds to it, especially when you're doing more of the truthful side of things. This is real. This is happening. This is what we would do without the camera here. So it just adds credibility to the whole situation. So
That's an important part about it too, and that's one thing I think it's kind of hard for sometimes the viewers to understand is hindsight is always 20/20. So you can look back on something that you did and say, well, that was a stupid move. Why did I do that?
Mm-hmm.
But when we're out there filming, we're mostly going off of our gut. What am I feeling right now? What should I do? Where should I be looking? Where should I be going?
Yep.
And sometimes the logic doesn't relate to camera as well as you'd like.
Right.
So people were like, why the hell did he get out of the car? What's wrong with him? It's like, well, what if somebody was coming up behind us right there at that point?
Right. Yes.
I would rather meet them outside of the car and deal with the situation instead
Than
of them
inside.
busting the window and climbing
And
in.
unfortunately, the horror, let me pronounce that better, in the has really put a damper on, you always see the person or the persons. Usually it's a female. Usually she's not appropriately dressed. That's just the way that the shows go, the movies. And she's, she takes off running. Don't do that. You're screaming at your TV. Don't run there. Don't open that door. Don't do this. You heard a noise. Don't go investigate it. And it transposes onto things that we're doing in real life, which, yes, can be relatable, but also there's a certain handle of the whole entire situation that you're not getting through the camera, which is so very hard sometimes. I've seen all your comments as well as my own. I see that you guys have a beautiful tribe. They're very understanding, and I think in a year, in some months that I've been on YouTube, I've had maybe 3 trolls, 2 of them which I've made fans. They just want to be heard. But you're always going to have somebody that thinks you shouldn't do this, shouldn't do that. You're doing this wrong. Don't play with that. Don't go alone. And it's coming from a good place usually. Yeah. But you're right. It's absolutely really hard to convey. I had to get out of the car, as you said, because I wanted to address if there was a possible situation before it entered the car where I would be cornered and have nowhere to go.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I blame.
And there are situations where we look back in editing and go, maybe that wasn't the brightest idea. Maybe this wasn't maybe we should do. And it's about loving the journey. We make mistakes. We're human too.
Absolutely.
And what is life without mistakes? You're not going to learn from anything if I'm okay with saying, hey, look, I messed up.
100%.
Let's not do that next time. I learned, and I love showing people that I'm human. Yeah, I don't know everything. I'm not the,
Our audio proves that.
Oh my God! If I had $1 for every time that happened, I'm telling you.
Well, see, back in the original videos, I was just supposed to be there as like the pack mule versus Slash's the protection.
Right.
So the camera was supposed to be the video was supposed to be mainly focused around her, and she's entertaining. She's adorable. I can't lie.
I'll pay you later.
But everybody kept saying, I can't hear him. I can't hear him. Put a mic on him. I can't hear him. It's like, well, you're not supposed to hear me. But we had enough feedback that people wanted to hear me for some reason. So we put a mic on. And,
you're entertaining too.
And so we mic'd up and we went out and we filmed, I can't remember where. I think it was the other cemetery. And we both had lapel mics on because it's harder when you got 2 people to keep the camera and so you could hear everybody. Yeah. So we use lapel mics. And the very first comment we saw about the audio was, I can't hear any of the ambient noise, like the dog barking.
Yeah, because we're like, oh, I hear a coyote, and they're like, we don't hear anything. So.
But yeah, so then they were like, well, I couldn't hear the ambient noise, and so I'm like, okay, so how do we do this? How can we figure out how they can hear both of us no matter where we're at, but they could also hear what's going on around us.
Right.
So we actually tie our lapel mics into an audio recorder, and then we just use the camera separately.
Oh my God. Funny story. I literally just got mine in the mail today, and I'm wicked excited. I'm so excited. This is one of those weird universal things, I'm telling you. Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm so glad you said that. Literally, just today. Sunshine,
so
like,
cool.
What is that? I'm like, don't worry about it.
It's all part of the journey.
Yeah, part of the journey. Yeah. She's like, is that another freaking camera? I'm like, mind your business. No, I'm just kidding. But no, that is really. I'm going to talk to you about that later. I need some tips.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let me write that down.
So we're still working on it though. So.
Yeah, no, totally.
We've had some pretty horrific videos too.
Well, yeah, we have.
There was one where we couldn't even release. We did a live stream and we just showed it without no audio, and we just kind of walked people through what we went through because the audio was just so bad. It was just so bad.
Well, part of it was the wind, but
yeah.
The wind, the rain. I mean, I've shown up to places in full gear, meaning it's literally takes up the whole entire back of the truck, and I don't bring any sort of SD card for any sort of recording whatsoever. And it's like, okay, I've traveled an hour and a half to get here. Now what do I do? Well, you pull out your
Mhm.
ancient cell phone and you're like, okay, I got this. You know,
Yep.
you do what you got to do, but it's like, "Gah!"
I actually have to have a checklist. I'm not organized at all. See,
She's like, mm-mm.
but I have to have a checklist because I mean, when we're going filming for a commercial or something, we have a ton of equipment that we use for filming those kind of things. But we don't want to pull out all that kind of equipment for this because if we're running around in dust and everything
Right.
else, we don't want to destroy our gear.
Right.
But like our camera that we use, it has 2 SD card slots. So when one fills up, it switches over to the other card.
Oh, nice.
And then the batteries that we got for it was like last for about 3 hours, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. Well,
Yeah.
unless something drains it. That's awesome.
Yeah.
which has happened. But
Yeah.
Yep.
it is kind of heavy for her to carry around, but
I'm getting used to
she's
it.
a pro. I mean, she's
I see that. I see those guns.
wow.
Yeah.
I'm getting used to it.
But you know, the hard part with it is the light too, because we're always doing it at dark. So when she's looking around, then she flips around on herself. She blinds
Yeah.
herself, and then all she
Yeah.
sees is dots for a
Yeah.
while.
I'm like, where am I
Yeah.
going?
Seriously. And then it's, literally at that time, a full-blown, full-bodied apparition will do the Macarena right behind the camera. And you can't see or hear anything because you're
Yes.
just blinded by your own equipment. I know. It's
Yeah.
terrible.
So another workaround we started to do with that is we started using a body cam as well. So
Okay.
this just clips onto my bag and it'll sit right there.
Mhm.
Yep.
And it has infrared and
Woo!
everything, so it sees really well.
Yep.
They're awesome. aren't
Oh, wait, yours has infrared?
Yeah.
Now I'm jealous.
Well, it's one of the
police
police
ones.
issued body cams.
Nice.
So it records for a long time. We'll get you the information on it. if
Yeah,
you wanna
I would
check it
appreciate
out.
that. That was sweet.
they? It has a little attachment too that you can, if you want to put this on your belt, you can like get the wire up through your
Right.
shirt and just pin it.
It's a small
Oh,
camera.
A
sweet.
little small. Yeah.
Heck
But I
yeah.
like this because the IR lights on this
Yeah.
is a lot brighter.
I love that. I
this
love
will
it.
bright, this will light up a whole tunnel.
Yeah, it
I'm
does.
saying.
It has recently.
Yes.
This it does. This is a GoPro Hero 8, and I use this everywhere now because my other camera, which is humongous over there, is great, but it's not practical when you're trying to get in and out of situations. We'll leave it at that. But it does. It comes with it's got a shotgun mic and it's got a little hot or cold shoe. I don't know which one it is.
Yeah.
So I could put an IR light on here. It's got a regular flashlight, but I wanted to get one with an IR light that I could also hook up to my drone. And I haven't been able to quite figure out the schematics of that yet. It's something I have to build, and I'm working on it. But yes, please email me that info. Oh, this guy?
This guy will help. This guy is amazing technically. Like he can put things together that shouldn't go together and they work.
I love that. I love
Yes.
that. Okay.
So
awesome.
he'll help you.
Like I said, in the paranormal field, we had to learn a lot about IR lights and cameras.
Absolutely.
And everything
Yeah.
else.
Absolutely. They're always going to appear when either your camera battery dies, you turn your camera off, you're packing up for the night, you take a potty break. I mean, so the more eyes you have on the situation, the better. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome. All right.
It's a little trickier on editing, but you just figure it out. You get a routine, you're golden. So
Okay. Yeah, I like that. Okay, so I've totally been neglecting the chat.
Hi, Jess. Sorry, guys.
First of all, I see Rooted just put 5 on it. Thank you so much, Zach. You didn't have to do that, man. We have bidding wars all the time. He donates, I donate. It's awesome. That's awesome. Thank you so much, Zach. I appreciate that. You didn't have to do that. Let me go back up to get a few questions here. I know that I've missed. Zach again. Yeah, Rochelle, we want you to be safe. Don't want to get yes. I don't want to be attacked again either. Thank you so much. Cheryl, we just want you to be safe. Yes. I recently got scratched for the first time, and that's a story for another night. Let's see. Go through the chat here. Looking for questions in all caps. If anybody followed the rules. Here's one from Zach again. You can find our guest by searching Tippett TV on YouTube. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I see Lucy
thank
was
you.
here and has already left.
There was a Randonautica question up there a bit.
Was
I'm trying
there?
to remember.
I'm so bad at this. I'm
was.
great in other people's live streams, but when I do my own, Sunshine all the time tells me, land the plane, land the plane. I'll just keep going. Here we go. Yes, I had a feeling Emily was here. When I was speaking about all of the equipment and everything else, I was thinking of her, and she's always yelling at me not to go alone, lovingly yelling at me. Not to go alone, this and that. And she said, speaking of light, I'm always telling Shell to get a side light for her camera. Yes, Emily, you are. And I do have one. The problem is that when I get to a place and I jump out of the truck, I just run. I run to the location. That's it. I'm like a kid in a candy store. I don't know what to tell you.
Well, that's a thing that it takes practice. I mean, because you're adding one more component to your camera. Not only are you adding weight, you're having to remember additional components. But when you're hustling and you're trying to get out of somewhere, just one more thing you can lose. And she lost the lights on one of our locations. She was running so fast,
it flew off.
She ate the snow, and the light flew off. And then she jumped up and kept running. I happened to be behind her because I didn't realize she was running until she was already halfway gone. So I was able to grab the light on the way out.
I just knew I had to be faster.
but we know that there's smaller, more compact lights that don't weigh very much, that can attach to your camera, that can work really well.
Yep.
2-hour battery life, I think it was. So we probably need like 3 or 4 of them every night. And I think they're like $80
something like
a
that.
light or something like that, you know. And so
they're cheaper than that.
well,
Especially the ones that are made for like adventure and I mean, I know you have a different gear than I do, but this guy, I haven't charged him in probably, I don't even know how to turn it back off. Hold on. There we go. This guy right here.
oh, that's tiny.
Yeah, it is.
It's waterproof, up to 30 feet. And
No way.
yeah, oh yeah. And that's it. And I'll turn it on without blinding everybody. That's 1 setting, 2 settings,
Oh, nice.
3 settings, and then of course the SOS blink.
See, I like the button. The dials are hard because I can't ever seem to get them right where I want them.
Now, do you know, this is one of those tech questions. Do you know if it's ambient light or directional light?
This is both.
Okay.
This is both. And I say that because on the first 2 settings, it's directional. On the third and brightest setting, it opens up and it's ambient.
Oh,
okay. Do you happen to know how many lumens?
Girl, no.
Okay, I'm just curious.
Who asks that? Who asks that?
Hi. We had to go buy a flashlight that was what, 1700
1700, yeah.
Wow.
I could blind somebody. If somebody came charging at me and I shined them in the eyes with our flashlight.
Listen, that's all you need sometimes.
Yeah.
You're right. That's why we got it. So
I'll tell you right now.
I like that. I like that though because that's
tiny.
That's compact.
Yeah.
I like
tiny.
that a lot.
It's compact. It's a USB charge, and like I said, it's waterproof. So
Nice.
I do. I mean, I film on it probably 4 or 5 times at a time, which I'm usually at a location, unless it's an all-day location, maybe an hour and a half at a time. So we're talking maybe 4 hours.
Oh, that's good.
4 hours at a charge.
Get you 2 of those then.
Yeah, for sure.
I pulled up. Hold on.
Okay.
You guys carry the show. I'm going to look this up real quick.
I want one of those. And the buttons, I think, is what gets me.
Oh, Bonnie's Beautiful Chaos. Josh,
What?
will you share your subscriber challenge? We'll save that for later. Of course, there has to be somebody bringing that up.
What happened? I missed it.
Oh, we'll talk about it after the lights because
Okay.
Oh, come on.
this is one that Marianne will explain to you.
All right. Let's see. 4 levels of brightness. It says up to 200.
200 lumens.
I
That's
guess
good
it's-
for what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Don't you poo-poo my light, mister.
no,
No, it's
I just
good.
said it was good
I'm
for
just
what
kidding.
she's doing.
I'm just kidding.
Send us a
It's
link.
actually, yeah, I will. It's it's really good when it fits right on your camera because I have an issue of when I hear something, my natural reaction is to move both, but I'll move the light first, you know, and the camera's like a little bit laggy.
Yeah.
So when it's hooked right up to it, And
Yeah.
it's so tiny, you don't have to worry about it. And we get a lot of rain here in Florida, as you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, it's usually just good to go. So yeah, I will definitely send you that link.
Yeah. Another
Very
thing
nice.
about our camera that we really love, and it's from the tech side. I don't know if the viewers catch it as much, but it has like 100-time optical zoom. So we
Oh.
have an insane zoom on our camera.
What kind of camera do you have?
It's a Vixia GF30 Canon.
Okay.
This
I
one back here, that's a different one, but that's our production camera back there.
Oh,
That one doesn't leave.
That one has
this
too many
place.
damn buttons.
Yeah.
40 something buttons on that camera.
42 buttons.
42 buttons.
That's amazing.
She counted them, so I didn't.
Oh,
Never.
Neva, you're spoiling me. Stop it.
She is incredible.
Stop it.
She's already had nightmares for 2 hours.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
She wants to match her nightmares up to the video when we release it to see if they match her
I'm gonna
nightmares.
freak if it's exactly what I dreamt. I'm like,
You know what? It very well could be. You never know. You never know. Mittens is here. So Sunflower wants to know what lumens are, Mr. Tech Guy.
It's the level of brightness in video production and stuff like that. It's how bright it can get. So like 1700 lumens can light up a mountainside, and 200 lumens could light up a person's face at about 5 feet. So it's just how bright it can get.
Unless you've been staring at, dark figures and crypts and stuff, and then you turn that 200 lumens to your face.
The lumens are
You're
the
still
same.
blind.
It's just your eyes that are.
yeah.
Okay.
It's the level of blindness that you
Right.
have afterwards.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay. I love that. Oh goodness. Wow. Okay. So, you want to go ahead and answer this now, or we're going to ignore it some more?
Go ahead.
Okay, so
I've been tormented with this
Yeah.
challenge for a while.
how
so-
did this start? Was this after the lake? Was it because of the lake?
Well, it started.
Oh yes, you're going swimming, right?
Well, that was one of them. That was the one that I don't mind talking about. If we got 500 likes on that video, where we were at the lake,
Mm-hmm.
I was going to jump in that pond. That's like jumping in ice water.
Yeah.
And our amazing daughter decided that she was going to as well until she realized it was cold. And she tried to back out. We said, nope.
Everyone heard you say you'd do it, so.
So yeah. If that video hits 500 likes, even if it's still freezing outside, I'll be jumping in the lake.
And I'll have the hot cocoa and the towels.
But
And
there was
700 lumens, right?
yeah, right. There was another challenge that somebody. Sorry about that, kids outside.
That's cool.
But there was another challenge that I think Selena brought up that she saw another YouTuber do, and said that if he reached 10,000 subs, that he'd wear a dress. I opened my big mouth. That
like,
sounds
"I'll do
like a
it."
good idea. I'd do that.
I'm
And
intrigued.
everybody really.
Oh, just wait, it gets better.
Everybody really lost their mind to that idea. So they're sharing it. They're
Naturally.
sharing it on Twitter and Facebook. They're sharing this all over the place. And then somehow somebody kept saying mini skirt instead of a dress.
Okay. I see that.
So I raised the sub count and said, if you meet this number, I'll wear a mini skirt going randonauting.
I would love to know what your tent's going to be, because I feel like the app's just going to be like pinpointed right where you're standing anyway.
I'll end up in the middle of a mall or something, the most public area you can find.
Oh man.
But
They're already picking out skirts for him too, so.
they are.
I love that. That's awesome.
As soon as it came out of my mouth, I regretted saying it, and they have not let up. They have not let up one bit. They're sending links to our videos to other places. They're trying to blast it out. They're trying to get that sub count to hit that goal to make me wear it. But that challenge ends on May
It's
1st.
a very short deadline.
So if it doesn't happen by May 1st, then I'm safe.
Okay.
But Paul who was in here, Paul Knoll. Oh, he's still in here.
Yeah, he is.
So Paul even said, "Bro, when you come across the country, I'll wear one with you."
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I think he regretted that after it came out and everybody
Yeah,
read it.
probably.
It's like, oh crap, you guys all saw that? But
That's awesome.
But yeah, we're supposed to be hitting the road at the beginning of May.
beginning
We're
of
going
May.
to travel the country. We're going to go meet up with as many people as we can, and hopefully you.
Yep.
Yes, and when that happens, and you have your sub count, and you're in your midi skirt, I will also wear one. I have not worn a dress ever in my entire life, and
Hey, so I could relate.
you can. So that happens, then I'm with you, brother. I got your back. So,
All right, so
Oh.
there we go.
midi
You
skirt
guys
it.
hear it
Yep.
right here.
Put it, on the live stream. 38 people in here. They heard it. Absolutely.
Mhm.
I love that.
I think Amy liked it. You just got a super sticker.
Hey, Amy, thank you so much. Oh my gosh. Yes, I immediately regret that now. You're right. I
Yep.
should.
Now they're going to want to see you too. So we're all in this together. you
Yes,
know?
we are. Yes, I'm not piggybacking. I'm just adding to it. So
Yeah.
take it down
There
this
you go.
way. Yes, we've got collabs on the table. Absolutely.
Mhm.
I literally just met you guys formally tonight, and I love everything about you, both of you. So
Thank you.
thank you for being here. We're
Thanks
not
for
quite
having me.
done yet. We're going to wrap it up shortly. However, I do have some questions that I've been ignoring. Amy, once again, thank you so much for the super chat. Amy actually, oh my gosh, her father painted me a picture of one of my favorite places on the planet, which is an old fishing hole I used to go with my dad, and I lost him in 2018.
Mm.
And almost immediately after starting the channel, I mean, she's been there from the beginning, and her father painted me the prettiest picture of that fishing hole, and I see it every day and just amazed at his
Wow.
talent and also the generosity and the love that went into making that. I mean, she didn't have to do that. He didn't have to do that. It's the best part of being on YouTube is meeting all of you, fellow creators, and people like Psychic Donnie and Nicole and Rooted and Emily, everybody that's here. I see you in here. I know I'm doing a terrible job with the chat right now, but just know that I am seeing you, and all of us appreciate each and every one of you being in here right now. So thank you for that, 100%.
Can I add to that real quick?
Yes, please.
I want to kind of add to that because, like I said, we've been doing this channel since the end of December, right? The amount of love that we've received from our fam, we didn't even know what to call them. It was like, is it okay to call them our fam? They're like, yes, call us your fams. Thank you.
Yeah.
But I mean, some of the stuff that people have reached out to us about and for have just made us tear up. Left us at a loss for words. We had one of our very first followers send us a message. Was last week?
About a week
We'll
ago.
say
It was
last
about a week
week.
ago.
And she said, hey, I've been following you guys for quite a while. I want to let you know how much I appreciate you and everything you do. I'm going in for heart surgery tomorrow, and I may not make it out. So before I go, I wanted to touch base with you and let you guys know how much I love you.
Whoa.
That was
right. So
what do you say?
So she talked back and forth with her, and then I put it out there for every person that was part of us to pray for her. And they blew it up.
I saw that.
Yeah, they blew it up. And so we got an update the next day. I mean, she even gave us her husband's phone number, all the contact address for the rest of her family, and said, here, in case you want to see what's happened or an update, here's my family's number. So in case I don't make it, please somebody can tell you. But her daughter apparently saw our YouTube community post and popped in there and said, hey, that was my mom. Thank you so much for sharing this. And then she also posted the next day that she made it out of surgery.
Yep.
And that she was spending the day in the ICU. And so we've checked in a couple more times since then, and it sounds like she's recovering pretty well.
Yep.
I guess It was a pretty evasive surgery on her heart, and we're thinking, holy crap,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
what do you say? It's like
Yeah.
we touched somebody
Yeah.
and they thought, on their last night before surgery, I want to reach out to these guys. You know,
That sticks with you.
Yeah.
That really cuts to your soul. You know, that's life changing.
And
It
one more story, real quick one. We had somebody else that went in and left a story for us. Her name was Dexadax. And she said, yeah, one night I was watching Randonautica videos, letting them play on my computer. I walked out of the room to do something in the kitchen, and apparently your video came on, and I heard Josh's voice. And it sounded just like, what was
Her
it?
uncle.
Her uncle who had passed away some time prior. And she heard my voice and she thought it was him or sounded just like him. So she came back, watched the video, fell in love with us, and she's been a strong member. She's actually one of our mods now.
Yeah.
You know. So the people over in this chat over here, all these
Yes.
people talking, everything going on, every interaction we make, we love them just as much as they love us. It's hard to show that, especially when numbers get higher and we're straining to stay on top of
Yeah.
staying in touch with every single one of them. But we express our love for them all the time. Our mods came in, we sat down and talked with the mods and said, you know, we're going to share all these stories we get from these people with you guys. So when you're interacting and you're moderating for our channel, you're seeing the people, not just the names, you know. And I just, we're blown away. We can't thank the people that follow our channel. We can't thank the people that follow your channel enough because they care. You know,
They
they
do.
really do. So shout out to you guys.
Yeah.
Yes. Shout out to you guys. Absolutely. I couldn't have said it better myself. We talk about it all the time. I mean, I can't even top what you said. You're 110% correct, and it's really that's who it's about. I mean,
Mhm.
would we be doing this stuff without them? Yes. Would we be doing this stuff without them with a light in our heart? Probably not.
Right.
Not
No.
that light.
Right.
There's a
No,
different
exactly.
kind, there's a different
Right.
kind of light,
Absolutely.
and I'm sure you guys as well. There's every single one of you is special, but you know, somebody will make a comment or ask a question, and the next hunt or investigation or Randonautica that you're on, you're like, oh, you know what? So and so said this. Let me ask this question. I actually just had that. I went back to the first place I ever filmed on my own, the A-frame in February of last year. Went back last month. And somebody asked a very good question. I can't remember who it was, so please forgive me. But they asked, do spirits rest? So if there's no energy present, the building is completely dilapidated. There's no running water. There's no energy source. There's no power. There's no person paying attention to it. It's literally just rotting away in the woods. Are they resting? And I'm like, you know what? That is a fantastic question. You know, it's almost like, does a bear poop in the woods or if a tree fell?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I asked that question, and at the time I only had my phone with necrophonics, which I am 50-50 with necrophonics. That's a discussion for another time. I actually got some really good responses to that question, most of which was, yes, we rest, and mainly we enjoy you being here.
Oh,
I don't think it was me in particular, just the energy, paying attention, contributing, being open to whatever was happening. So the subscribers and the people, this doesn't get said enough. And yes, as our numbers grow, which they will, it does get harder. However, it will never be, for me, a point where that will wane. You know, just the awe that they bring to us, the encouragement and the happiness and the good energy. I say that as I'm completely ignoring the chat right now, but
Well, they know we're talking about them, so it's okay. 'Cause it's about them, you know.
it is. We get into some deep conversations, but ultimately, in the end, it's all about you guys. We would still be doing this. I believe you guys have done this and would continue to do this on your own. But just having that that positive peanut gallery, that tribe, that group, that fam, whatever you call it, it's magical. It really is.
It
And,
absolutely is.
And one of the things I'm grateful for too is that one of our fans actually put together a Discord server for us, and we had no idea what Discord was.
right. It's new to me too. Don't worry.
And a lot of our fans that actually wanted to communicate with us outside of YouTube, where it's easier for them to message us and stuff like that, they all came to Discord, and they're sharing their stories there. So there's a section where people can share their stories of how they met us, or paranormal stories, or randonautica stories, and there's different sections where different conversations take place. And I tell you, sometimes that channel blows up, and we're in the chat saying, "Hey guys," they don't even realize we're there
Yes,
because
true.
Right.
all our fans are interacting with each other.
Right.
That it's just, I love seeing it, because even these people now that are talking with each other may or may not have ever met if it wasn't for us.
Absolutely.
you
Right.
know?
Absolutely. There are times that I'm late to my own live premieres, my live shows, and I'll come in, a minute or two after life happens. I have a job. I work with animals. Everything is very fluid. So I'll set something with the intent of being there, and sometimes I just can't make it right on time. And I'll come in, and it's literally just comment after comment after comment of positivity. Hey, how are you? How's your daughter? How did your dentist appointment go? How's your garden doing? And it blows my mind because essentially, if you break it down on a very shallow level, yes, they are all here because of me, because of you, but they have made their own connections. And this is whole interwoven web of just awesome. And
it's beautiful.
It brings the family together.
It does.
It does. So when they hop into a premiere or something, they've already been talking with each other.
Yes.
Shout out to Barbara.
Oh my gosh, Barbara. That's another one. Barbara's been there since the beginning. God, she is just she literally fills my gas tank for every single explore that we do. And she doesn't do it because of anything selfish at all. She is just
awesome.
God, she's amazing. She is just top of the line. Everybody is, of course. You don't have to donate monetarily. That's not what I'm saying, but
it helps with gas though, right?
It helps with gas, yeah.
It does, especially, you still have a full-time job and you're doing this, you're doing that. You're trying to make time for YouTube, growing your business, growing your brand and all of that. And you've got these people that are like, here, take my money, which is so very weird to me. But at the same time, it always comes through at exactly the right time. And it's awesome. I love it.
We didn't even know what super chat was at first, and then all of a sudden we saw something pop up. It's like, what is
that? We've learned a lot. Yeah. Usually we're just, we're behind the scenes for other people's channels. And so once we do the edits and we send them on their way, we don't see what happens. So this is kind of like, what's that?
Yeah. And you guys, especially just starting in December, I mean, you guys are way, way ahead of the curve. So congratulations on that.
Oh,
thank you very much.
It's not your content, it's not your editing, it's you guys. So congratulations, because
it's because of this.
It's because of the coffee beans.
I love that. I love that. All right, we are going to wrap it up here at 9:00 sharp. I was going to go for an hour, but I seriously could probably talk to you guys all night if I could.
Let us know. We'll come back. We'll hang out.
It's such a pleasure. I'm seeing nothing but positivity, which I always do in the comments. But everybody's loving you guys, and if you make it down this way, I would be honored to do some explores with you for sure.
Oh, it's happening.
We're doing it.
Yeah. Okay. If we have to sleep in our car every night, we're going to do that. People have been giving us a list of truck stops where we can stop.
Love that.
And like, we're committed. We're going to make this happen no matter what.
It's just a matter of if we get to sleep in a hotel or in our car.
Hey, you know what? We'll meet you. It doesn't have to be here. I mean, we're not we love traveling as well, and we're not opposed to sleeping in the car either. So, the only stipulation, of course, everybody here knows, but Sunshine does not get on camera because of the job that she currently has. It's very sensitive. Everybody here knows that, but which does help with the sound because she's usually filming. So it's me talking. So the camera is always one way.
See?
So I do have that one up on you, and I apologize.
That's
for that.
We tried, but everybody wanted to hear my mouth.
I know. Well, you guys together, and it's the same thing with Sunshine and I, but you guys together are such a dynamic force, and it's not your knowledge, it's not your presence, it's you guys together. You feed off each other, you feed each other. It's awesome. I immediately fell in love with that when I first saw you guys. So
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
He's good to me.
yeah, well, you know what? And you think it's easy until you see some other people. Again, not anything against anybody else, but you know, there's a chemistry there that it's fun. It's beautiful. It's fun to watch. So keep that up for sure.
That's
Be nice
easy.
to her.
Yep.
Oh, she's trained me well.
Oh,
I see that.
I was taught at a wedding we were filming.
yes, that's true.
I was taught by who was it?
It was the officiator.
He said the answer to a perfect marriage is always answer with, "Yes, dear, you're probably right." I use it all the time.
It's a two-way street, though. Like I use it too. So
I love. Did you hear that, Sunshine?
Oh, we're gonna lose the signal right now.
I'm just teasing. I love that. That's beautiful. That is beautiful. That's great. All right. Let me just go through one more time. Make sure I'm not hiding anything, that I didn't miss anything. Barbara, yes, thank you, my love. It's real. Yes, Nev, that is. Sleeping in the car. Yes, we can do that. Again, we love traveling. We love, as you may or not have heard, we are doing a convention this year called UrbexCon 2021 for paranormal investigators and urban explorers alike. And, you know, everybody's like, are you flying? I'm like, no, I'm not going to fly because you know how many places I can hit from here to there that I can explore and film? No.
Content. It's all
Yes,
about content.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. So, yes, we'll be filming that.
Mhm.
Just catching up here. Oh, thank you, Sunflower. Appreciate that. Mittens here. Hello, Mittens. She's another good one. Again, anybody that's still here, if you haven't checked out Tippa TV, please do so. We are wrapping this up here in a few minutes. So please go to their channel, show them some love. They have been absolutely amazing, and I'm very honored they are here on the channel tonight.
Oh, thank you so much.
Oh, no. Thank you. Do you have
We'll
cash
come
out?
back. Let's hang out. Let's do a 2-hour live stream.
Do it. Let's do it. Have some
We could
time
fill
to
it
load
up.
it out. We could.
We have filled it up for 2 hours.
We did like a 9-hour stream one time.
Oh, Barbara again. Thanks, Rochelle and Rooted. Oh, thank you, Cheryl. Cheryl's another one. Nicole, everybody here. I don't know what I'm talking about. Everybody that's here is just amazing. I know you guys have your family and your tribe too. And it's fun because here's the interesting thing before we go is that normally with live streams and stuff, especially lately, it's been not the same crowd, but the general same crowd. And a lot of our subscribers and family and tribe commingle. So it's fun to be to have you guys on the show. I'm seeing a lot of the same faces, but I'm seeing a lot of new ones. And the best part of that, I think, is that they're just coming in and fitting right in. You know, I've been on, I'm sure you have as well, some live streams where the two waves come in and they clash a little bit.
Yeah.
Which again, different styles of filming, entertainment, you know, whatever. It's fine, but it's really beautiful to see everybody coming in here and just nothing but good things to say. I absolutely love that.
I agree.
And that says a lot
100%.
about you guys as well. That that's
Yeah,
awesome.
they like to tell us we're chill and laid back, and we don't deal with drama. We
No, we
don't
don't.
deal with issues. It's just like,
I don't either.
So
No room
Life's
for
too
that.
short.
It is. It really is. And especially on a public forum, I mean, you don't always have the last word, but you definitely have the channel markers, you know. And it's neat to see sort of everybody just get along and be so awesome together.
yeah, they blend right in with each other.
Oh, see, there's a new one. Thank you so much. I love that. Thank you.
Well, Bonnie's Beautiful Chaos has some interesting stories too. So
Really?
She's pretty
Good
cool.
to know. Good to know. Yes,
Mhm.
Barbara. No, we don't do drama. You're right.
No.
Absolutely not.
No drama for mama.
No. Keep
I
your
don't
mama.
have time for that. No.
Oh goodness. All right. Well, I'm going to wrap this up. So Tippa, if you want to hang around for just a second when I end this broadcast, you and I can
Sure.
talk real quick. And we thank every single person for being in here tonight. You guys have been just stinking awesome. I will have them back on. This was just so much fun. And clearly we have a lot more stuff to talk about, including some possible plans for a collab. So
Mhm.
everybody, again, thank you so much. The donators, the watchers, the new people, thank you for being here. Emily, we do fun. Yes. No competition. That's absolutely right. We're all family here.
Yeah.
We're all here for the same thing. And you guys
Exactly.
you make it awesome. So
Yeah.
again, everybody have a good night. We will see you guys on the next adventure. Thank you for being here, and we'll see you guys. Thank you.
Bye.